What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning back in. In today's video, we are finally pulling the engine in the Nova. We are going to see what this small block Chevy that I built 3 years ago, 300 plus passes on boost, is all about when we tear it down. The plan is to just refresh it, new bearings, new piston rings, stuff like that. The engine has never shown signs of being hurt or anything like that, but we won't be able to tell till we get in there. So we're going to go ahead and get that thing yanked out of the car, start tearing it down, and then we're going to dig into it and see what 300 passes looks like on a small block. In just a few hours, we got quite a ways done. Superchargers off, starters off, headers off, all the accessories are off. So we have a couple of bolts in the heads, a chain ready to go ahead and yank this out. I just took the converter bolts out. Kind of hard to film under there, so I didn't film much under the car, but we're taking the tunnel out. Just a lot easier for getting into the driveline, transmission, stuff like that to pull. The drive line in the rear end there was kind of a pain in the butt to take out, one of the bolts, and I was looking at these straps, and well, here's a straight one, what a 1350 strap normally looks like. There's another one. You can see it's a little bent. When I broke the rear end a few years ago, or a couple years ago, and I didn't replace the strap, I can't remember, to be honest with you, but they're out. I have another set of 1350 straps on the shelf, so we'll throw those back in. And we got all the accessories over here in the corner. The distributor we're gonna go ahead and lock out in another video. Got the Mazir starter all cleaned up. Shout out to Mazir, you make the best stuff on the market. Supercharger's off. I got supercharger oil, ready to change the oil on that. And the carburetor stuff, which if you've been following along, you'll know that we're gonna be switching to E85, so we will not be using that carb. That won't be going back on. That'll be used for something else, like maybe this small block we have. So now that we've made it this far, it's ready to pull. Just bell housing bolts and motor mount bolts, and it'll come out. I called in for some backup. Coda with Dakota Nation Racing's gonna come by. He's gonna help me get the engine torn out, the transmission out, and just have an extra set of hands. That way we're not accidentally dropping something or hurting myself or whatever. So he will be over shortly, and we're gonna get this thing yanked out. Guys, about an hour and a half later, we have just the shell. Got the engine and transmission pulled. Thank you, Coda, for coming over and helping me with that. Got the engine sitting in here, ready for me to sit down and start pulling this guy apart. Then we got the transmission down here. Gonna head to Dave at Ultimate Transmission. I'll give him a call and see when he wants me to take that down there. So yeah, it was pretty quick. Let's get back into the time lapse and we'll start tearing this thing down. update here. We got the first side off. So far, everything is looking really good. Head looks good. Yeah, it stayed sealed up and was nice. And I can't see any scoring in the cylinder walls or anything like that yet. So we are gonna move on to the other side. All right, we got both heads off. And this side of the small block looks good to go as well. No scoring in the piston or the cylinder walls that I can see right now. Can still see the cross hatching and everything in there. Heads look good too. Pretty excited. So far, no damage. But we're gonna go ahead and get the timing cover off, flip this thing over, and let's check out some bearings. Well, hello. It's been a few years. How you been? All right, we got all of the accessories and the accessory drive and the timing cover off of the front. We're gonna go ahead and replace the timing chain. That's just a pretty inexpensive thing to do, so we're just gonna go ahead and replace it, even though it looked fine. All the teeth, everything looked fine. Took the pan off, as you can see. Our milling high volume oil pump is off, and everything in here, man, just keeps looking good. These rods and pistons and everything are pretty stout, so I don't expect to bend anything in here. But yeah, at this point, I mean, everything's looks so good that I don't expect much when we take these rod caps off, main caps, looking at the bearings. I really don't expect to see much, but we'll go ahead and replace them, refresh it. And yeah, I think everything's gonna look good. We're gonna go ahead and we'll take off the rod caps now, slide the pistons out, take a look at all those bearings, and then we'll take off the main caps, rip the crank out, and then the main caps, the main bearings will be the ones that we replace first. We'll go ahead and get those replaced, the crank set back in it, get all that torqued down and ready to go, and then we'll move into gap in the rings and all that kind of stuff, probably in another video. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling, and let's get these pistons out of here now. All right, first piston is out. Here's the side of the bearing that takes the most force. And it looks pretty good. We can definitely see some wear, but that's why we're changing them out. But all in all, looks pretty good. Here's the bottom side cap. Looks pretty good. All right, and we're down to the crank left. Got all the rods and pistons out. This was cylinder 8. I left this cap off so you could see the wear. The top side bearing on the bottom of the rod takes the most force, and it's about the most wear that I have seen so far. So I am extremely happy with that. Everything looks great so far. Let's get the main caps off, check those, get the crank out, and we will be complete tearing this thing down. And we are down to the bare block, besides the cam, of course. We don't need to take that out, so we're just leaving that in. But really excited, man. Everything looks really good. No concerns on my end. Main caps definitely have a little bit of wear on the bearings. Probably a good thing that we're doing it, but nothing to be like really concerned about. So just normal wear and tear. All right, we're gonna end the video off there. Thanks for sticking around, watching us tear this small block down. Everything looks really good, especially for hammering on it for 3 years and 300 plus passes. And yeah, it makes me really excited. Should just be as simple as throwing new bearings, piston rings back in it, which we'll do in the next video. Next video, we'll probably get it back to maybe like the short block or something like that, or maybe even putting the heads back on. But yeah, as always, we appreciate you liking, subscribing, following along, and helping me grow this channel. It's been awesome to see, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.